DeMeco Ryans consider benching C.J. Stroud at halftime. 4 interceptions in the first half. Okay. There were maybe the one that went through Hutchinson's hand, maybe that one not on C.J., but the rest of it just really bad. Here's DeMeco Ryans. Did you consider benching your quarterback?
No, C.J.'s our guy. I believe that he could come back out in the second half and flip it. I believe that he could play better. And he did that in the second half. He did play better. We had some positive drives there in the second half. As I believe that he would do that, and he did that.
I don't need any more. You scored 6 points in the second half. You scored 6 points.
Yeah.
You can't just go, well, yeah, we moved forward in some of it.
Yeah.
0 drives wound up in the other team's hands. No interceptions.
You're always 6 ifs away from a championship. That was the whole Bill O'Brien problem. They'd go into offseason explaining things with if this and if that and if this and if that. If these 6 different trades had worked out and we hadn't overpaid or undersold, the roster would be in magnificent shape right now.
It wasn't good. You had both teams had less than 250 yards of offense. And I know that this is DeMeco's ethos, and he's a positive guy, and there's probably some coddling going on right now with C.J. Stroud. Come on, man. You had 2 field goals in the second half of the game. You gave up at the end of the game. You punted on 4th down with 5 minutes to go in the game with 1 timeout. And the reason you had 1 timeout is because your offensive operation stinks. It's
atrocious. It is atrocious. And that, look, pre-snap operation, it's the quarterback, it's the offensive coordinator. Oh, no, your defensive tackle who plays fullback didn't get in his stance quickly enough, or Dalton Schultz went into motion too quickly. Right. CJ last week admitted that it sounded like they didn't even really practice the play with Taugiai at fullback all that much. Didn't take any full-speed reps at it. They botched it last week. They botch it again this week. You can't get the play call in time. There's illegal motions. There's timeouts taken to avoid delays of game. That's the quarterback. That's the offensive coordinator. Other individuals will make mistakes. That's on the. It's no different than a damn fast food restaurant. We've got people listening right now who are fast food managers. You've come in and taken over for somebody else that didn't know what the hell he was doing. It's amazing how quickly things start operating more smoothly when you've got a guy who's actually, or a woman who's actually running things properly. It's not being run properly right now. C.J. Stroud on the road has been a disaster. He's been an abysmal mess. We're giving him pats on the back for getting first downs in the 4th quarter on the road, drawing defensive holding calls in L.A. Like all of these things that it's not good enough.
No.
My God, how many times? I swear, Sean, when Troy Aikman or Joe Buck last night noted that, oh, by the way, the Texans don't have all their timeouts here with 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter, I was kind of refreshed. I was like, oh, that's a surprise to them. Oh, they live in a world where you don't go into a game expecting your team to burn timeouts before the end of the half.
So bad, man.
Look, they got 1 timeout left with was that with 12 minutes left when they only had 1 timeout?
Yes,
yes. 1 timeout left with 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter of a game in which you're struggling to do anything offensively.
Yeah. And DeMeco decided to punt with less than 5 minutes to go, down by 2 scores with 1 timeout left. And I know it's 4th and 18 at your own 21-yard line. You at this point, it's the better of 2 really bad choices. Punting the ball concedes the game. All the Patriots had to do with you having 1 timeout was honestly run the ball into the line 3 times, and the worst case is you get the ball back deep in your own territory again with 2 minutes to go in the game. That was inexcusable. That was inexcusable from DeMeco Ryans. Here was Ryan Clark at halftime when the studio crew there for ESPN was kicking around the idea of bringing in Davis Mills at halftime, which would have been completely plausible and justifiable to bring in your backup quarterback, who, by the way, was 3-0 this year, replacing C.J. Stroud. Here was Ryan Clark, also a David Mulligetta client, we must point out, almost making an appeal to the audience to say, you got to keep C.J. in here.
The second half has legit ramifications on whether or not C.J. Stroud is the quarterback for the Houston Texans going forward. 3 years in a row, C.J. Stroud's gotten you to this game. This is the year you feel like you have the players around him to win it. There's no Nico Collins. There's no Dalton Schultz. There's no run game. They put everything on this young man's shoulders. Give him 30 minutes to show you that he's the guy you drafted second overall. He's the guy that's brought you here, and that he's the dude that can take you playing for it all right now. Whether if it's his mind, if it's physical, if it's decisions, if it's bad throws, you got to let him go out and show you this is who he is.
Okay. He's the same guy on his driver's license. Same picture, same name. Other than that, not the same guy that you drafted. He's the guy that's 3 years
by
ago.
that point, he'd been doing it for 6 quarters in the playoffs.
Yep.
This is the other thing. And we'll play the Troy Aikman audio later where he mentions maybe he's got a hand injury. And, CJ's had that tape on his middle finger. If that's the case, why
is he in there?
Why is he out there?
Yep.
If that's the explanation, that's the easiest thing in the world. You can take everything Ryan Clark just said and throw it out the window. That's a coaching decision-making error. And, I hesitate to say I don't think DeMeco was quitting when he punted there. I think it's a bad decision. It's a defensive-minded head coach who's thinking, all right, the only good unit we have in this game is the defense, and maybe they can make something happen. But meanwhile, you're looking at a Patriots team where Ramondre Stevenson had both arms and every other appendage he had available covering the ball up at the end of the game. I think relying on the Patriots to try to make a bad decision or a mistake in that situation when by the way, they're running on you by that point in the game.
By that point, they're running on you. Yeah. It's the only way it's justifiable. The only way is if you have all 3 of your timeouts left.
Plus, Clint made a great point last night too. Is even if you go for it on 4th and don't make it, the offense has time to burn off the clock at that point.
Well, there's an end point. They can't just run the ball till the end of the game. They've got to decide to do something.
Right.
Kick a field goal or do something, and you at least get the ball back and you hold them to a field goal.
And at that point, if you're looking for a miracle in sloppy conditions, A, missed field goal, or B, Denico Autry lives and breathes, and he's one of the best field goal block kickers in NFL history.
Yep.
If you're looking for a miracle, a blocked kick for a return touchdown, or even just a blocked field goal, whatever it might be, that it forces the issue. You get to keep playing football.
Yeah. And if the one play you run, if you just throw it downfield, either they're gonna, there's a chance they intercept it, which is like a punt anyways. Or you might get a pass interference penalty down there.
Well, and this is where the problem is. I heard one of your callers last night. I forget his name. And I thought he was making a good point. It's just partially, and it was that DeMeco needs an offensive mind to help him with this game management stuff. They've got plenty of good offensive minds over there.
Oh yeah.
It's however the process is to get to when is DeMeco relying on his gut feel versus the hardcore. It's not even advanced analytics, man. It's arithmetic. No, you could do it on a napkin. It's percentage chances of doing anything in this given situation. You could do it with 1970s computers.
Yep.
There's a point where DeMeco's got to get his game operation back on track with what he did his rookie year.
Yes.
His rookie year, I thought for a rookie head coach, he did an incredible job. For a defensive-minded rookie head coach, I thought he was game management.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, it feels like it's gotten worse and worse. And maybe it's gotten worse as the defense has gotten better.
Maybe.
His tendency to want to believe in the defense is just a little out of skew right now.
Maybe, but DeMeco's game management is the coaching equivalent of whatever is affecting CJ. Both guys were great their first year, and for some reason it's fallen apart in those areas moving forward. I want to get a few texts in here because so many people are up listening this morning right now. My 11-year-old daughter, who has less than 0% interest in football, walked by the screen, looked at CJ and said, "Is he crying?" Yeah.
The LaShawn McCoy audio will play, I think probably echoes what a lot of people who might be casual observers of the Texans, or the 3 different people that texted me and all that use the word moping or some derivation of that word to describe C.J. Stroud. Yep, that's pretty much that's what C.J. does. He just kind of just kind of mopes around at times.
Yeah.
Don't worry, leader of men, haver of it.
Right. Stroud looks so timid, jittery, and lost. He's always had a terrified look on his face. That's not a leader. Someone asked, wasn't Mills not suited for the game? I didn't think he was available. I don't know where that came from. I had friends of mine texting me like, I can't believe Davis Mills isn't playing. I'm like, I just read the inactive list on the air. He's not on it.
He's not a publicity whore that stands in sight of the camera all the time.
Right. Well, no,
that would have been.
But I looked it up. There was some Twitter account that said he was unavailable, and they were wrong.
So it was a bogus Twitter.
Bogus
report,
Twitter,
and
yeah.
People ran with it.
Yeah.
Happens these days.
It does. They broke.
You and I have succumbed to it ourselves.
They broke CJ like they broke David Carr. The front office should be held accountable for these offensive lines they've thrown out there. I think there is something to that. I've said it for a year and a half now. I said it when it was happening. That midpoint of last season, the Green Bay, Indy, and Halloween night game against the Jets, where CJ got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Ass kicked in those 3 games. He has not been the same since then. He's not been the same. They were 6-2 going into that Green Bay game last year. He was having a good season.
The biggest thing, too, man, his reluctance to run since the concussion and him dropping his eyes in the pocket, the staring at the rush, these are things that he was, even as the Texans were struggling early in the year, CJ wasn't doing that. And you can blame the offensive line, but many other quarterbacks have dealt with this in the past and done a better job of it.
Yep.
His reluctance to run in this modern NFL. I mean, did you watch the playoffs this week? It's not a nice little bonus to have anymore when you have a quarterback who can run.
It's essential.
It's an essential ingredient.
Yep, it is.
They all do it. They all do it.
Yep.
Even the ones who aren't as good an athlete as C.J. Stroud are doing it with more regularity and frequency than C.J. Stroud.